everyone, I'm Shelby and I play Igneous Thorn in Power Word Roll. Welcome to Quotes from My Notes, a show where we take quotes from our players' notes and use them to recap previous episodes of Power Word Roll. Today, episode 7, Facing the Past.
It's the quotes from my notes, the quotes from my notes. Get the inside scoop with the quotes from my notes, yeah. Who wrote this?
As the episode began and Ignea began introducing her friend Ender and Osteroth to the rest of the party, a siren began blaring, and the party watched as Zarek Knights headed to the headmaster's tower. When they arrived, they saw the headmaster lying there, dead. When Alex saw the headmaster, he charged at a Kenku being held by the Zarek Knights. Ignea stopped him, and he stormed out of the room in a rage. It became apparent that necromantic magic sucked the life out of the headmaster. Caitlin didn't even have to use Detect Magic to figure that one out. The party began interviewing the Kenku, and he said that he did not remember what happened. Although he did reveal that he was sent with 2 partners to kill the headmaster, and that they were all part of the Dark Renegade. Chiron and Danor try to pry more information from the Kenku, but he only tells the party things they already know. Danor goes to fetch Alec and finds he had seemingly disappeared. While she's gone, the party, quoting Oliver's notes, heard a whisper from the Kenku's ear. "It's all right, we got him." Then he died. The party realized that Alec must have been taken by the Dark Renegade, and Chiron pulls a long pin-like object from behind the Kenku's ear. As they get ready to embark on their rescue mission, Eric pulls out the map for Chiron, but interestingly, he only sees a blank piece of parchment. Such as Chiron. The party heads towards the dock in search of a boat that can take them to the Land of Owls. When they get there, Eric asks the captain of a boat if they can ride along with them, and Thomas, the captain, suspiciously very easily agrees. They set sail, and Chiron went to the lower deck to investigate something that startled Pippin, and he found, quoting Oliver's notes, a barrel of partially eaten human hands. Thomas offered dinner, and after explaining to his crewmates that the party wasn't dinner, the entire party watched uncomfortably as the crewmates ate what they assumed was human flesh. The group is freaked out by the unison actions of the crewmen, and when they ask Thomas about it, he tells them their jaws don't move, they're not human, and they're good listeners. The party heads to the lower deck to take their rest for the night, and Ignea gives Ender a book about, quote, the chosen ones of Kossuth. During their watch, Ignea approaches Danor about her secret and how it relates to Alex's disappearance. She tells Ignea to touch her left arm, which was slimy and I don't want to know, and that she'll explain everything once they're off the boat of cannibals. After their perception checks, Ignea and Danor notice crewmen moving above the deck. Chiron wakes up and sees the crewmen ready to attack. He flies straight up and alerts the rest of the party with his screams. The party came up to aid Chiron in fighting the crewmen. And as the battle continued, Thomas called the crewmen, and they immediately stopped. The party took their rest in Eric's layman's tiny hut after he recasted above deck. When they awoke, the ship was docked, and they had arrived in the Land of the Owls. They began to make their way into the woods and towards the northern mountain. As they were walking in the woods, they came across a bear cub, and after arguing for a bit, the mother bear came up behind them, seemingly ready to attack. After a successful animal handling check, Eric gained the trust of the blue-eyed bear, who began showing them the way to the northern mountain, while Danor used shape water to keep herself and a few others dry. When they arrived at the mountain, they found a battered and scorched door with a lightning damage inflicting eye on it. Trying to prove their allegiance to the Dark Renegade, Ignea dealt 49 necrotic damage to the door after a critical hit, in which the door retaliated with 25 points back. When they entered, they saw a long stone hallway with branching paths and doors to the left, right, and center. They decided on the right door, and when they opened it, they saw 2 people, Ponder and someone they didn't recognize. Nismoke ran at Ponder, but he blocked her attack and put her to sleep. After a realization by both Eric and the DM that the bear had followed them into the base, the bear attacked Ponder's companion, killing them. Eric asked Ponder about his wrists, in which Ponder replied, "I see you haven't done your work lately. If you come back alive, you won't leave through those doors." They then went down the left path, opened the door, and found a room full of crates that had paper wraps and fuses, and barrels that used to hold gunpowder. They continued on to the double doors, which were shaking because of wind behind them. When they opened the door, they saw a bridge held up by chains over a huge chasm. The party walked across, avoiding beams of energy as they passed the gargoyles in the center, and the bridge collapsed after they all made it across. As they try to open the door, a message in Thieves' Cant appears above the handle. Not wanting to wait an hour for Daenor to cast Comprehend Languages, they try to force their way through the door. However, the more they hit it, the more messages appear. Eventually, a message appears in Infernal, and they send Nesmoke to retrieve the ruby eyes from the gargoyles. After getting a bit frustrated, they decide to take a short rest so Daenor can cast Comprehend Languages. After the spell is cast, Daenor learns how to open the door. As they enter, they see another room with doors to the left and right, and double doors across from them that are gilded and covered in crystals. In the right door, they find another hallway and a statue of a bald man labeled the One, with armor, a glaive, a goatee, and a large scar running from his forehead to his lip. In the hallway, they find 7 doors, and each party member takes a door and investigates the room inside. Each room has a labeled bed and a labeled journal. The beds are labeled in order: Bruno, Sector, Loyal, Ether, Stout, Twix, and Rex. And the journals, same order: Lycan Mountaineth, Maxwell Rock, Talia Kingsman, Dom Tarek, Tanner Meeks, Marie Sapter, and Craven Greyskull. As they're investigating this, a large bald man in a gray robe approaches and heads into Rex's room. They decide to leave and go into the right door, which leads to a staircase. As they go down, Ignia gets her foot caught in a spike trap on the last stair. As this happens, they hear clapping and are greeted by the twins, Tyac and Myak. Tyac threw a makeshift bomb into the spike trap, but Daenor defused it with a frostbolt before it went off. Eric helped Ignia get out of the spike trap, and they immediately headed back up the stairs. After some more searching, they made their way to the center doors. Before heading in, the party made a few preparations. Ignia casted Warding Bond on Eric. Daenor got a spell slot back with her vampiric knife. Nesmoke thanked the party. Pippin told Ignia that he forgave her, and Eric convinced his bear friend to wait outside while they fought. Finally, they opened the door. When they entered, they saw another statue of the One, and they saw the One, Bruno, and a white dragonborn that the One calls Loyal. They also saw Alec, wearing the same collar they found Eric in before. Thus began their fight with the One. It was a hard-fought battle that took strategy and a lot of difficult decisions. The battle ended with Chiron killing Bruno and Loyal, and the One using supposedly the same book the headmaster used, teleporting away and outright killing Ender, Nesmoke, Pippin, and Chiron. Quoting Tony's notes, Chiron stole not 1 but 2 kills, then died horribly. Rest in peace. The episode concluded with Ignia casting Revivify on Chiron, and Gentle Repose on Ender, Nesmoke, and Pippin, and Daenor removing the collar from Alec. Also, I just kind of want to put this in here. Tony's one-word note for the session was dead, and honestly, if that does not sum up the session, I don't know what does. And that was episode 7 of Power Word Roll, Facing the Past. If you want more Power Word Roll, make sure to catch us on June 22nd at 4 p.m. Central Standard Time for episode 8 of Power Word Roll. Thanks for watching. Bye!